Hey up, welcome back to another video. Thanks for coming again. It's Sunday again today, so figure out I'm working a shift pattern right now. I've got a Scania in my workshop here, just a quick job. She's left me a note saying her driver's side locker went open, so I'm going to pull the panels off that. It's more than likely on these Scanias a cable. I'm going to pull the panels off that and see if I can do something with it, because I don't think I've got a cable. This is the truck in question, and the cable's this. I can see it's going to be the cable because it's frayed at this end, so it's certainly going to be frayed inside. I pulled this little stainless trim off, a couple of rivets, which exposes this, and then you can unbolt the housing and whip the locker out and get to all the where the cable comes through. So I'm going to whip this off now and see if I can do something with the cable just to get us through until I can get a new cable delivered. All this trim, and as you can see here, the cable's damaged. That's what's stopping it. So what's happening is she can open a locker, but when she goes to shut it, it's not latching because this cable's not returning. For one, it's got a fray in there, which is stopping it going all the way back in, and then that kink and damage there is obviously stopping the spring on this. I ain't got enough force to pull that damage through the sheathing to allow the locker to latch again. So this cable's shot. I might have a spare cable up there, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have a dig about, but if not, I can always straighten it up and tape it just so it slides free, just until I can get one here. But we'll have a look on top of the stores first. I'll not lie, I'm as surprised to see this as you are. Got loads of old stock up here off like damaged trucks. I just keep all of the stuff. Obviously this has been ordered at some point and never fitted for something. Don't even know what the date on it is, but I've got one, so sweet. I'm not sure what the proper procedure is of fitting these, but there's some angles in there, and it's got to come through. It's got to come through that little hole. So what I'm going to do is snip that off and tape this on, and use that old cable to pull this through. That way I ain't got to mess about trying to route it, because there's probably about 10 different channels it could go down me trying to poke it through. It's probably an easy job, but I'm not going to risk it, because yeah, I'm not. Taping it to the old cable didn't work. I want enough room to get that metal end through the hole with the cable, and literally just poke through. So I overcomplicated that big style. That's that back in. Pop that back in with the plastic holder, twisted it, and then the cable outer is clipped into this bracket here, which allows it to return. So now I've got to chuck all the bolts back in. That's that job done. Should you align your hinge so the side locker's flush with the bodywork, because the hinge is on a slider. You don't want it sticking out because they make loads of noise. And it might blow off, who knows? But yeah, I've just got to put that little bit of stainless trim back on now, and she's done. Bosh. I almost forgot, I've not even had a coffee today. But I made it at home and I haven't even drank it yet. That's why I feel like crap, isn't it? I've got no energy, I ain't got the caffeine flowing in my bloodstream yet. I feel it coursing through my veins already. That's all back on, just riveted on. I noticed these hinges were a little bit loose as well, because obviously from the opening and closing, they've rattled loose. So you need a thin 30mm spanner to get in on them. Just nip them up. So that's that job done. Let's see what's next on the list of jobs. Nice start to the day, isn't it? Nice, quick, easy job. We all love quick, easy jobs. I do know I've got a call down to our other yard near Retford to fit an ABS sensor on a Volvo. It's one I bodged up on Tuesday. So he came in, he'd lost his exhaust brake, ABS malfunction. So obviously plugged in the jowl test. It was coming up with speed sensor 1. So I didn't have a genuine Volvo one in stock, and as you know, if you work on trucks, the Volvo holders, sensor holders crack and they break. So I went to crack the bolts off, they snapped off in the hub. So I had to knock them out, cut them off, pull the holder off, knock the bolts through, put fresh bolts in, but the holder was cracked. So I had to run with it because he needed to use the truck in the morning. It was 4:30 at this stage. So I just popped in a trailer ABS sensor, joined the wires with some heat shrink to keep him going. But now I've got the genuine Volvo sensor in a new holder. So we'll go put that job right. It's seen him to the end of the week. It's Sunday now. It'll probably last another 6 months, but we don't need unnecessary call outs because I put them little pink heat shrinks in and we know they're not weatherproof. They're good, they're all right, but it ain't gonna last forever. So I'm gonna go put the genuine kit on that, keep that going. It's seen him through the end of the week. He carried on earning his money like, but put the job right now. I might go do that next. I'll kick this Scania out and I might load the van up and go and do that job. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I was mega slack yesterday. I did that Scania side locker. Then I went down to the yard and did an ABS sensor on a Volvo FH. Come back, MOT prepped, loaded a trailer, which is outside. Need to wash that today. I'm just about to inspect this. I don't bother recording the inspections because they're just boring. But unfortunately, it is the biggest percentage of my work. If I find something on the inspections that's worth showing on YouTube, I will. So I'm gonna get my head down, inspect a few this morning, get the brunt of today's work done, and hopefully I find something interesting, because honestly, inspections are the worst job in the world for me. I'd rather fix stuff 24/7 than do any inspections. I'd rather do all the defects, personally. But it's got to be done, and as a truck mechanic, this is what pays the mortgage, is the inspection. So head down, I'm going to get a few of these knocked out. I know it sounds terrible, but look forward to finding faults sometimes so I can actually fix something. Oh, we've found some big jobs with this one. It's got a dust cap missing, hasn't it? On top of that big job, we've got my dash screaming at me, so I've left the door open and I'll make off. Top marker light is missing. It's obviously been smashed in, so I'm gonna have to find where the wiring is and pop a new one in. We'll do that, but I need to grab my ladders first because I'm not that tall. That's what we need. One of them's. So this is a wonderful idea. The lamps fell in that box section, and it's also boxed in at the back. The cable comes through there, but then I can't get my hand in there to feed the plug back through that hole to plug this in. But I do have a tool that's like a tiny little hand. So see if I can fish out the wiring. It's a bit rubbish, that, isn't it? I need a little tiny hand. That's got to be one of the dumbest setups I've ever seen. I've just spent far too long trying to get that TIG rod through there. But now I've got it through, the plan is to tape this bit of twin core to the end, feed it through, put a super seal plug on the end of it, so it'll plug straight into this, and then snap that in. But Jesus, that's probably took me 25 minutes. No word of a lie. And this works, because I don't want to have to feed this through again. What a day. What a silly idea, huh? I come up with silly ideas all the time, but thankfully for you lot, I don't design trailers. Look at that. Just, what a pain. So now I'm going to put a plug on there just to snap onto that lamp. That took far too long. It did. I was losing the will to live then. But we don't quit. We never. Let's just check it works before I push all that back in. Moment of truth. Bang! Whee. This should be easier to get in than it was to feed the wire in anyway. He says. Bosh, like a new one now. On to the next one. But this one's really exciting because the last one was a Montricon with dark blue curtains. This one's a SDC with light blue curtains. Just running through these this morning. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Longest job in the world, tire brushes. Held on my compressor only goes up to 135 psi, and these tyres are 130, so it cuts in and out for the last 5 psi. Another one. Yep, another inspection. But look at this thing. This thing excites me. I love stuff like this. That is a big old dumper truck. See, I'm like, what am I? 6'6". Big tyre, that, isn't it? What a machine, eh? I love heavy equipment, I really do. I've not done much on it spannering wise, but I just love the size of everything. Everything's just bigger and better, and just better and betterer. It's just betterer, isn't it? On a machine. Just everything's really tight when it breaks. It's just hard to get everything off, isn't it? That diff casing, that's just built for abuse, isn't it? It's just built to work. Proper working machine now. Anyway, that's back to my trailer inspections. That's my exciting part of the day done. A few issues with this one. I'll show you what they are. No, side guard plank there. That wants replacing. Frame bolts are loose on both sides. That's from the trailer like wobbling about. It's common, that is. So keep an eye on them. That's both sides on them. Patches come unstuck, so that wants rebonding on, and then a little bit put on the outside for a bit of extra. It's where the drivers pull it to undo the ratchet, so they commonly tear front and back near the pole. Here I've got a bent post, so that wants stripping and straightening and then welding up for strength. They don't appear loose, but if you look real closely, you can see just a little bit of rust forming underneath these axle bolts. It's hard to see. The bolts aren't loose with a tapping hammer, but I'm going to check them just to be safe. Same on the front axle, middle axle's fine. Just see like rust forming. So I'm just going to check all them bolts, middle, front and rear axle, make sure they're tight. They appear tight on the hammer, but hammer's not foolproof, obviously. So I'll get a nut gun on and make sure I chase them. Well, see if I can chase them up a bit. Just going to do tyre pressures, and then I'm going to start cracking on with them defects. Some of you'll say, what's the torque setting on them bolts? You just saw what the torque setting was. Alright, put it this way, a tight U-bolt's better than a loose one, and I know you could argue, if it's too tight it could snap. I know the torque rating on them bolts is hellish, and I definitely know that 3/4 gun would not surpass that. So that's the science I'm going off, because I'm not swinging off the torque range on my own. And I ain't got the technical data. It's better than it was. Okay. Reassurance here. Does anyone else get like sharp chest pains when they take deep breaths in? Or am I just edging ever closer to a heart attack? I know it's coming one day. And I got asked why I don't wear overalls. I've got overalls on today. And the reason I don't normally wear overalls, the reason I'm wearing overalls today is because it's really cold this morning. And I thought I'll put the overalls on, keep them a bit warmer. The reason I don't normally wear overalls is because I can't get them off. I can't get them off my shoulders, so tonight, when I go to leave, I'll have a massive hissy fit when they get stuck on my shoulders. That's why I don't wear overalls. But my gaffer came in this morning, he was like, "You got overalls on?" I was like, "I have." I said, "Don't get used to it though, because tonight, when I try to take them off, I'll remember why I don't wear overalls. So tomorrow I'll probably not be wearing them." And he just chuckled and walked off. So that was that. Flameproof, so set myself on fire and I'll be safe. But yeah, chest pains, oof, it's coming. It's coming now. I've just ground the heads off the rivets because they're them big rivets that the centre's staying and you can't drill them out without knocking the centre. It's just easier to flap this heads off. I'm going to whip this out. It all slides out the bottom. What I'm going to do is seam weld it. So I'm going to straighten it, weld the cracks, seam weld it, and then re-drill the pinhole so it's stronger next time. So when the fork truck driver hits it next time, it'll just bend somewhere else. That's normally what happens, but I can only deal with what I can work with, can't I? I can only fix what's broke. Like I say, if you make stuff too strong, just bend somewhere else. But it does take a little bit more grief when I seam weld it. I'm actually going to TIG weld this because I don't get to TIG weld too often, and it's one of them things that practice makes perfect, and if you don't do it for a while you can kind of lose your touch. So when I get the opportunity to weld something on the bench, I will crack out the TIG welder. There's no reason for me to TIG weld it. A MIG weld would be absolutely fine. Be easier, be quicker. But in the interest of improving on my skills, we're going to bust the TIG welder out. So get this whipped out on the bench, cleaned up, welded up, bang it back in. All cleaned up, ready to rock. So let's chuck some pigeon poo. The trick to TIG welding, I'm talking like I know what I'm doing. The trick to TIG welding is being comfortable. This bench is a right awkward height to get comfortable on. Standing up it's too low, kneeling down it's too high, get a chair out and it's too high. I need something just a little bit lower so I can sit down. But we persist, so yeah, I'm just going to TIG weld this up. I might sit up in a time lapse because it'll take a little while, this one, maybe 5 minutes. Fix these posts back in, I use these sleeve rib nuts. I don't know the technical name for them, but basically because of the way it's set up, the roof bounces and it acts like a scissor. So if you don't use these stronger rivets, if you use like a normal aluminium rivet, it just shear it clean off because of the bouncing motion. So you've got to use these. So look, I'm super posh. I need my 6 rivet though. See how it's left some little stubs? I'm gonna knock them in, otherwise it'll slash the curtain. Try that again, but this time I'm gonna try it with this bit actually attached. Oh shit. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody needs to know.
Up on Tattoo Tech's vlogs. He's gonna tighten up some already tight bolts. He's gonna make tight bolts even tighter.
These are tight. These are gonna be tight. Do this all the time. They're always seized up. So you're tightening tight bolts. It's weird. It's weird. But that's what we're gonna do after I've had some food, because it's lunchtime and now I'm hungry. So I'm gonna eat some food. Okay? See you in half an hour. The question here is, how much money's worth of tools do you need to tighten a couple of bolts, Ash? So I've got a snap-on 3/4 gun, a Milwaukee Harvard gun, spanners and sockets to tighten up 4 bolts, 3 bolts, about 6 actually, because the other side. So I'm going to whip this off, 2 17 mils, get that tension out of the way, and then I can get to them 2 bottom ones, and then that one. I'm using the 3/4 gun because it usually tightens them without me having to warm them with the oxy, so it just saves a bit of messing about and burning stuff. If it doesn't tighten them, I'll warm them with the oxy. If the bolts snap, I replace it, simple as that. I'm not going to record it because it's going to just blow the microphone away. I'm tightening 3 bolts. Boring, isn't it, really, to be honest. I love doing that job. Do you know when it traps your fingers against the chassis? It's just wonderful. There's no feeling like it. But that's that done. Both sides. And I can't remember what's next. I'm gonna have to consult the list. Oh, there's a rip on that curtain, isn't there? So probably do that now. Get off. Oh, ripped in half, isn't it? There we go. No one ever needs to know. That'll last a week, because that's where all the tension is, and the drivers, when they slacken off the curtain, they pull it there. So I'm certain it's going to tear again. If I had the right colour patch, if you notice, it's the lighter blue. If I had the right colour patch, I'd actually do one over the top as well. But I haven't, and I'm not sticking that colour blue on the top because it will look an absolute dog. So it'll do for now until I order some more of this colour, because we've got quite a lot of these higher trailers. This is a higher trailer, long-term hire. Quite a few in this colour now, so it makes sense for me to have a roller tarp, because it's becoming more and more frequent, the curtain patches on these ones. Next job is that side guard plank. Now, probably don't look too bad on the camera, but it just looks a dog. Looks a dog, so I'm going to change it. I've got some on top of my tea room over there, so I'm going to whip that off. I'll put you on time lapse, and we'll chuck a new one on. Keep a looking right. Boom. So that's this one buttoned up. I'll go park it up and see what is my next victim. Okay. It's another inspection, but I've got to MOT wash that trailer outside because that's the 7 o'clock in the morning test. So I'm going to check lights on this, drop it off, couple up to that, wash that this afternoon. Now it's dry, it's a bit warmer. I say it's warmer, it's getting dark again. Because I'll have to leave here at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning to get to the test lane for like 10 to 7, ready for MOT. So that needs to be washed before I go home. Oh, look, big job. Big job, number plate that. So yeah, check lights on this, drop it, couple up to that, and then I'm gonna get steam cleaner out, give it a flick over. Pop a number plate light bulb in that before I forget. You ready? Set up. So, I'm gonna get wet. I'm gonna get the trailer wet now. Give it a quick flick over. That's that all washed off. That's ready for the morning. If you notice, I didn't use any snow foam rope. I just wash them off so everything can be inspected correctly. All the anti-spray is clean and conspicuous markings are clean. I don't go to town on them purely because it's like having a shower before going for a swim in a river, innit? It's pointless this time of year. A lot of firms go mad on it. They'll spend hours, chuck them on ramps, and just as long as the tester can see everything, inspect everything without muck and crap getting in the way of his job, and everything reflects that should reflect, they're happy. And obviously the anti-spray is clean because they're keen for anti-spray. So there's no point in me wasting hours and hours cleaning one trailer when there's another 119 out there, plus 30 lorries. I'd never get no done, would I? It's about 4:30 now. I'm gonna have a tap around this. We'll pick back up on this video in the morning. You can come to test with me. I'll take that for test in the morning. Morning. It's the next day. It's actually 4 AM. My phone just rang. We've got a trailer in Newark. That's brake chamber's gone. So I'm going to shoot up in Newark, sort that brake chamber, shoot back to my workshop to get in that MOT truck, whatever the trailer, but get in the truck, and then just back to Lincoln for MOT. So just making a coffee and then I'm on the road. That's that one done. Every fucking thing was seized. Now I've got, it says, sounds like you're stuck then. Now I've got to shoot back to the workshop because I've got to get in that truck and leave the yard for 6 AM. So I've got 50 minutes to get from Newark. 48 minutes to get from Newark to Hemswell. That's plenty of time, innit? And I've still got a coffee and a protein shake left. So at least I've got something to entertain me for the next 50 minutes, you know what I mean? Right, catch you at the yard. Okay, see you! I've literally got to come back to this exact roundabout within an hour. Just waste of time. Just waste of time. Why don't you just teleport the truck and trailer to me? So I'm here with plenty of time to spare. It's 5 to 6. I'm just going to check the lights on the trailer whilst the engine warms up, and then shoot off down to Row Hire in Lincoln. And get a ticket on this bad boy. And then when I come back, the customer's already rang me. Can I have a look at an ABS fault? So I normally get back from test about 8:30. So I'll be having a look at a customer's trailer with an ABS fault as soon as I get back, and then I'll pick back up on that trailer I dragged in last night. I did actually finish the inspection last night off camera. There's a few jobs that need doing on it, but this is the main priority this morning, so let's get it. And that's why you always double check your lights. We've lost the bulb. So I'm here, I'm actually 20 minutes early. It's 6:43, they don't start testing until 7. I like to get the first test of the day, that way I can get back to the workshop and crack on with the jobs, because there's only one of me. I can't spend too much time out of the workshop because I end up miles behind. So yeah, bosh this test out, get back, sort that ABS fault, and then take the rest of the day in my stride. I try and film some of this, but you're not actually meant to film an MOT. So I'm not going to get anyone's face on the camera, but I might do little snapshots as we go through the lane. We'll see. We'll see. Catch you in a bit. Let's go see what the result is. Confidence, my 90th test this year, and we haven't had any fail yet, so hopefully I've got it about right by now. Another one. Now back to the yard, and hopefully that trailer's there with the ABS fault. Let's go. So I've had that trailer in and diagnosed it. The actual EBS modulator's kaput. It's got power to it, but it's not powering up. I've plugged in a new valve, which I keep on stock, just there. That one pulses, it clicks. So he's dropped that off for me because I've got to get this trailer done so I can kick it out, and I'll bring that in we'll replace that actual ECU, but I'm going to put that in next week's video, wherever it is. It's there, that one. We'll put that in next week's video. So if you're interested in knowing how to replace these Haldex Gen 2 units to a Gen 3, tune into next week's YouTube video. For now, I'm going to knock out the jobs on this, which was a load of petty stuff, I believe. I don't know if I told you what these were or if I did these last night. I'll recap it. Yeah, so we've got a punctured tyre, it's got a screw in it, so that needs replacing. Axle bolts want nipping up again like that other one. Top helmet's bent, see that plate, that just wants knocking in again. And then the frame bolts are loose, and you saw me do the number plate light. I didn't know, and I can remember doing that on the video. So I'm going to knock these jobs out, kick this out, and then go from there. Can you guess what I'm going to do with this job? I bet you can't. Wouldn't it be nice if it was all that easier? So that's all them axle bolts tight now, and these frame bolts are tied up. I've put the curtain back on. I do take that out and that off to tighten them up. Just going to consult the list, make sure I haven't forgot anything. Yeah, that's all done, this one. Just wants a tyre puncture repair on that near side rear. So I'll part that up, put a VOR board on it and ring ATC. They'll come and do a puncture repair on that. I'm going to call it for this video. If you're interested in seeing that modulator being fitted, tune in to next week's video. That'll be on there. Thanks for the support. I'll catch you in the next one.